Okay, hey guys. So, this video is gonna be really hard to do. As you can already tell. Oh, I was trying so hard not to cry today. Just for this video, to get it over with. Okay, so today is Saturday the 12th. I don't know if the video will be up today. I don't know if I'm going to feel like editing it, or if I'm going to edit it all, or just post it, or I don't know. So, as you can probably tell by now, obviously we didn't get any good news. I'll try to make this quick. I really wanted to wait with this video until I was more content to even talk about it. But, the whole point of this video really, or this channel really, was to kind of keep a diary of my feelings and my emotions and everything that goes along with trying to have a baby. And, this is part of it, apparently. So as many of you know, like, we were trying for 2 years now, like 22 months, when we finally conceived for the first time and got her big fat positive. And it obviously took us a long time to get here, or to where we were, I guess. So we finally conceived and everything was fine until our first ultrasound on September 1st, where I should have been 7 weeks and 5 days according to my last monthly period. But the baby was measuring first around like 5 weeks and 5 days, and then they measured again and they stretched it out a little bit and it measured at 6 weeks and 1 day. So it was about like 10 days or so behind. Which, now thinking about it, it kind of did make sense. Like, I should have clued into that a little bit more sooner, because I don't, like, they obviously go off your last monthly period because they figure you ovulate like 2 weeks later, that sort of thing. But I know when I ovulated, and I didn't ovulate until 3 weeks into my cycle, so there's like an extra 7 days already shaved off, and that means like I should have been maybe only 6 weeks and 5 days, and baby measured at 6 weeks and 1 day, so really there was only maybe a 4 or 5 day difference, which is not huge compared to like other ultrasounds and stuff. They usually say if you're within like a week, you're fine. So looking back at that, everything did make sense about that one, but obviously you were still stressing out. If you didn't see my ultrasound video about the bad experience, go check it out, so maybe this makes a little bit more sense to you as well. So I updated you guys last week, Wednesday, before the next ultrasound that I had booked on Thursday. At that point, I got a lot of messages and comments about stop stressing out, and like, you're gonna miscarry because you're stressing the baby out. Well, as it turns out, I guess my instincts were right, and when they talk about that mom knows, mom really does know. So anyway, Thursday we went for ultrasound, and I actually have to say I slept pretty good the night before. I was starting to feel more confident about it, having my hopes really high, that everything was fine. I was more nervous about the place itself and the people rather than the actual ultrasound, because that played a big role in our experience the first time. So we showed up and their computers were down, so we had to wait a little bit longer, but already the reception was way nicer. So we got called back into that place. Like, you have to put on like a hospital gown and take all your clothes off, like except your bra and panties, obviously. And Matt was allowed in. I just had to fill out a form that I was allowing him to be able to see everything and hear everything, so that was already a great experience. So yeah, we went in and she just said that she can't say much until she talks to a doctor about it, I guess. So they have doctors on site that look at all the ultrasound pictures and then let the tech know what they can and can't say about the stuff, obviously until my actual doctor gets the pictures. So they tried an abdominal one first, and she already got more pictures that way than the other girl did before, because they just literally went to transvaginal right away. So she did a couple pictures that way, and then she had me go to the bathroom and empty my bladder, and when I came back, Matt was kind of moved to the side, obviously, because he was kind of at my foot end, so it would have been awkward. So anyway, I couldn't really see Matt, but he got to see the screen. I didn't, because she didn't want to turn it so that I couldn't really see much, and Matt was saying she was working really fast, like he couldn't see much either or make anything out. He did see the baby, like the little blob, I guess, and everything. So she was like, hey, so I can get like I can sit up and stuff and get clean up and put my underwear back on, and she'll go talk to the doctor and then she'll be back. So as we're sitting there, the machine was next to us, and the pictures were kind of up on the screen, so I was trying to look at them, see what they look like and if I could make anything out. So I'll just insert those pictures that I took with my cell phone off the screen there. And then also, like, when I turned that camera on, it was set on like selfie mode, so it was pointing at me, so I just took a quick shot of us, like, kind of still happy and excited. So I'll insert that here. And then literally like 2 seconds later, the door opens and the first thing I see is the doctor and then the tech. And as soon as the doctor walked in, I knew. Like, I knew, because usually they don't have the doctors come in unless it's bad news. If it's just a matter of measurements and numbers and stuff like that, the tech is usually able to say stuff. So, yeah, I was sitting on the bed and Matt was kind of like next to me on a chair, and I couldn't even look at him because I was like, I just knew what was gonna happen and what she was gonna say. So she walked in and she said, well, everything's still so small. They weren't really able to measure anything much. She didn't really say about what she could measure, what it was at. But she said that at this point they were not able to find a heartbeat. She was trying to make us feel better by saying because things are still so small that it could just be a matter of like not finding it. But she also said the fact that we've seen it last week and now we can't, like, if this would have been my first ultrasound, it would have been like it's still way too small to even see anything. So yeah, that was kind of, I don't know. Like, I appreciated the fact that she was trying to, like, be like, okay, there could still be a little bit of hope and stuff like that, but I don't know. I just wanted to get out of there at that point because I was trying to hold it together to not break down in there. And I just, as soon as they were like, okay, so we'll send those pictures to your doctor then, and I just stormed out of the room. I got changed and I was trying so hard not to start crying in there. And Matt kept asking me if I'm okay. So we got outside and I was just trying to like make it to the truck really fast because I didn't want to like break down on the street. So I got into the truck and I just like, I really broke down. And Matt was trying to like hold on to what she said about how it could still be small and stuff, and I'm like, there's no way, because if they saw it last week and they can't see it now, like, it's like nearly impossible. So then obviously he started getting upset and he started crying and he was punching the steering wheel and stuff because he was so upset. So we had plans to do some things after, but obviously like we just wanted to go home. So obviously my parents wanted to know what was going on, so I just texted them and said like there was no heartbeat. So my mom called me and she was crying and I was crying, and she was like, we should go to the hospital, right, and get a second opinion just to see, because it was another place. Maybe their machinery didn't pick anything up as good as the other one. So I was like, okay, fine. So I kind of tried to collect myself again. We went home to let Bailey out because she, at that point, she was like alone for a long time. And obviously when you go to the hospital, like emergency room, it's even a longer wait. So we got home, Matt let her out, and I went to the bathroom, and in the bathroom I just, like, I literally, like, I collapsed in front of the sink and just started, like, crying like I don't think I've ever cried before. So Matt came in because he heard me crying, and he was trying to calm me down, and so we left and went to our new hospital here. We weren't even sure if they do stuff like this. So I came in and I didn't want to mention to them that I literally just had an ultrasound, because then they don't really take you seriously. So I just mentioned that I had that spotting on Sunday and cramping on Monday, and like I did. And then I also said that I had more spotting this morning and it was a little bit more red, which wasn't true, but I was just trying to get in and have them take me seriously. So, we got called in within like 20 minutes. They had me put on a hospital gown and put me in this room, and urine sample, and they took like 6 vials of blood just to do a bunch of testing and stuff. We had a really nice doctor, and then she said like they can't do an ultrasound today because their techs are only there from like 9 to 3 or something, and it was like 6 o'clock at night. So yeah, I guess I can insert a picture of the room and stuff there. Matt took that one. So obviously everybody was like going crazy, wanting to know what was going on and stuff. So at that point she said that she'll do a pelvic exam just to check my cervix and stuff, how things look like, and if it had open at all. And then she would put me in for Friday for another ultrasound with them, I guess. So she did the pelvic exam and she said that to her everything was still closed. Like there was no sign of spotting for her and stuff. She did say there was some kind of discharge or something, but she wasn't sure what it was, so she took like a swab and sent it away. But the fact that she said like my beta was still high, and which obviously to them it did, because the last time I had my beta done was like 3 weeks ago, so obviously I would assume that it was higher than then. So anyway, they did the pelvic exam and she said everything was closed and stuff, which kind of made us believe like, okay, maybe they did really just not see a heartbeat, because if everything's still closed, everything could still be fine. But obviously, I don't know, we're trying to stay hopeful but also realistic. So I think from Thursday into Friday morning, we were kind of in like a, I don't know, like a denial bubble, I want to say. So they called me at like 7:30 on Friday morning and told me to be in for 11. So we went in and got our ultrasound done there, and the lady was really nice and very sweet and had a very bubbly personality, and that personality changed within 10 minutes of looking at the screen. And this time they had Matt stand behind me, so neither one of us could see anything. So at that point, like, I knew she's seen the exact same thing, that there was no heartbeat. But obviously, until you actually hear somebody else say there is no heartbeat, like, I don't know, you still cling on to hope, especially because we were doing some research. And we heard some stories of babies just like kind of fluttering around and they weren't able to see anything or find anything because they just have too much space to move around. So obviously you try to cling on to things like that and hope for the best, I guess, even though you know what the outcome is going to be. So we headed back to the emergency room because we had to wait for a doctor to look at the pictures and then tell us what was going on. So we sat like an hour and a half in the waiting room, and then I think another hour and a half in an actual hospital room. So then the doctor came in and he was really nice, and he kind of sat down and he looked at us and he said, there's like no easy way to say this, but there's no good news. And I knew he was gonna say that because I've heard it the day before, but I don't know. I was just trying really hard to keep it together, and Matt came over from the little chair that he was sitting at, and he came over to the bed, and the doctor had like a little sheet, I guess, that they wrote everything down that they seen on the ultrasound. And just reading black on white that your baby no longer has a heartbeat is just... it's really hard. So yeah, reading that was, I think, the worst thing yet, because it just seemed so like, yeah, there it is, black on white. So at that point, like, I was just worse than this, just a sobbing mess. And Matt was trying to comfort me, and the doctor was really nice, like super nice. Like, I'm so happy about the fact that we got a good doctor that actually seemed like sincere. So as I'm like sobbing and trying to catch my breath, the doctor asked if this was like our first pregnancy. So I literally couldn't speak, and I hope you guys can understand me right now. But Matt answered and he was like, yeah, we were trying for 2 years. And at that point, like, even the doctor had to like look down, and when he looked back up, even he had tears in his eyes, and he was like, I'm so sorry guys, you seem like such a sweet couple. Sorry guys, of course, my camera would die. I just charged it quick so I can finish off this video. So yeah, anyway, after all of that, the doctor like asked us a million times if there was any questions for us, or for him, and I remember, I think I asked something like, how long is it gonna take for the miscarriage to actually happen, and he said that he wants stuff to start happening within the week. So if it doesn't, like, I should come back and you want to check my beta levels and stuff just to make sure that my body's realizing that it's done. Can't believe I'm saying that. So yeah, I guess we'll see within the week what happens. I still have my appointment on Monday with my gynecologist, and she doesn't even know what's going on because she has no idea of either one of those ultrasounds really. So Monday will be a hard day. Just to walk in there with all the pregnant women waiting and their big bellies, and then having to go in there and say that our baby no longer has a heartbeat. I think Monday will be the worst day yet. It's gonna be really hard. So anyway, the doctor at the hospital just mentioned, like, if at that point nothing happens, I can decide if I just want to wait it out, or he would rather do like a, like pills to make things move along quicker, or like a D&C or something, which in the end is kind of like, I think it's like considered somewhat like minor surgery or something, like I read about it. And I guess there's like 3 ways, like you can be under full like anesthetics or whatever it's called, or like half, kind of like an epidural, or they just numb your cervix depending on what's going on. So I don't know. At this point, like, it's so hard to say this, you have no idea. At this point, I just hope it happens naturally and it happens quick, because sitting here, I think I'm still, as much as I'm crying, just thinking back about what everybody said about no heartbeat, you're still in denial because it didn't actually happen yet, like you didn't actually start bleeding yet. So, I don't know. I think that's the hardest part on me right now. Like, I'm usually a pretty strong woman, and I've been through a lot in my life already. Not just with the trying to conceive, that has so far been almost the smallest thing. But for me, I need something to focus on. I'm not the kind of person who can sit around and, like, everybody tells me to, like, take my time and take my time to heal and grieve and stuff, and I get that, but I'm not that kind of person. I know that if they expect me to sit around here for 2-3 months before we start trying again, I'm gonna get depressed, because at this point, like I said, I'm not allowed to work. I'm stuck at home. Winter is about to be here, so I can't really be outside. There's just nothing for me to focus on besides the future. Obviously, the goal is we want to get pregnant again. We want our little baby. And the fact that we're literally so close, and we've seen the baby, and we've seen a heartbeat, and it just doesn't seem real right now. As much as it hurts, but it doesn't seem real. It's just like a nightmare. Like, I know a lot of you probably went through the same thing before, or know somebody that did, or heck, I know a lot of people that did, and I watched videos of people getting miscarriages over and over and over again, but you never think it's gonna happen to you. Like, you struggle so long to get here, and you finally do, and then it gets taken away. Sorry, guys. So yeah, this is what our lives are like right now, especially mine. I'll be fine for an hour, 2 hours, 5 minutes, I don't know. And I'll sit there, I don't know if that is when I'm in denial, or like I'm just trying to tell myself, okay, I got pregnant, I can do it again, and this time it's gonna work. But then you look back and you're like, I'm already pregnant. I'm already here. I already have a baby. Why do I need to do it again? And then you break down again. And then you cry and cry. And then you pull yourself up again, and it starts all over again. Okay. So yeah, as you can imagine, the videos are gonna be not as often anymore. I don't know what I'm gonna do the next update. I'm gonna try to do one around next week sometime to update you guys on our appointment on Monday. Just to let you know what her plan is and what she thinks we should do and all that stuff. But until then, like right now, I think it's, I don't know. Like, I want to be here because I know everybody's going to be supportive, and, well, most of you anyway. And I'm going to find a lot of new people that go through the same thing, and it'll be nice to connect with people like that. I was already on a mom page last night and asked for advice on people that dealt with miscarriages before, and I've gotten a ton of responses, especially from ladies in my area. And I was talking to a couple ladies, and like, as much as I want things to start happening right now, because I think one of the hardest parts right now is knowing that your baby no longer has a heartbeat, but it's still there. So really, you're carrying around your dead baby right now. And for that matter, I wish I would have just started bleeding. It would have been a bigger shock, but at least I would have been able to move on faster than waiting right now. And talking to those ladies, it's like, you're gonna have to go through so much pain from that miscarriage, like physical pain when it happens, to days and days of heavy bleeding, and I don't know. I'm just really in this denial bubble right now because, like I said, nothing has happened yet, and people tell me that my baby's no longer there, like, alive, but it just doesn't seem real. I guess I'll be joining you guys hopefully soon again with the whole trying to conceive. It'll be different now because it's after a miscarriage, but in the end, back to starting out where I started a while ago. If it were up to us, we would start trying again right away, but like I said, I have a feeling my doctor won't let us. So, I don't know, we'll see what she says. Luckily, I have those prescriptions here, so I guess if I really wanted to, I could start, but I don't want to risk making things worse or landing here again, that's for sure. And that's another thing. I remember watching one girl that was struggling with miscarriages before, and I think she miscarried like 3 or 4 times right after each other. And I remember her saying that, like, it's never the same again. Like, your first pregnancy is special because you're excited seeing those lines or seeing the digital, telling your parents, telling your family, telling some friends. Like, our photo shoot that we did, the shopping, the going to stores, the maternity clothes that are laying here, the pregnancy pillow, like, everything just reminds you of what happened here. And it's so hard. And I can't imagine how hard it's gonna be because you don't ever get those moments back. Obviously, we'll be excited when we get pregnant again, but first of all, we don't know how long it's gonna take. And when it does, yeah, you're excited, but there's such a big fear there right now that whatever happened now is gonna happen again. Every ultrasound is gonna be hell because you're so scared that somebody's gonna walk in and say what they just said to us. And walking into every store that we've been in so far, it's just gonna be a reminder of, we just did this. My maternity clothes, like, whenever I get to wear them again, are just gonna be a reminder of the first time that I bought it all. And it's never gonna be the same again. that feeling of excitement, that happiness, not that you're not going to be happy, obviously, but it's just not the same because you're not so naive to be full on happy and excited, and there's always that fear that whatever just happened is going to happen again. Maybe sooner, maybe even later. Yes, I'm grateful that it happened fairly early on rather than later. Like, I know some people have to go through or stillbirth or things like that, and that stuff is awful. But I mean, like, either way, it's horrible. I know that those things are a lot worse, but after seeing those positive lines and even seeing your little baby in a heartbeat, you're just, I don't think any mom at any point should have to go through this. Like, I always thought that the trying to conceive community had it off so bad, and all the heartache and the tears that come along with trying to get pregnant would stop as soon as you get pregnant, but now look at us. I would have rather sat there and tried for another 2 months to even get pregnant than to go through this. I just don't get why things like this happen. Like, why does anybody out there deserve to go through pain like this? It's really hard, and it's gonna be hard for a long time. I did have a moment on Thursday when they said that there wasn't a heartbeat where I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, if this were to happen again, the pain is just so, like, I don't even know how, like, there's nothing like it. Nothing. And that's, I think, what scares anybody the most is, like, once it happens once, is it gonna happen again? I mean, lots of people go through this and they go on to have healthy and fine pregnancies, and it was just another bump in the road, but anyway, I honestly don't know what else to tell you guys. Obviously this is a long and very emotional video, and I hope that I can get the courage to actually post it. Hold on. I hope that I do. Just because it is something that was part of this journey, and that is obviously going to be a big part of our lives. Like I said, I was going to wait with this video until we're more content and more at peace with the situation, but I vowed to myself to do this channel no matter how hard things got, because I wanted a place to talk about things. So if this video offended you in any way, if I said anything that offended you, this is just how I'm feeling right now. And my views might change on this as I grieve and move on, or try to move on. But as of right now, this is what we're feeling, mostly me, because I'm the one talking. And, I don't know. I hope that you guys will still be there through all of us. I've had a lot of people offer help, and we both appreciate all the love and support and prayers we've got from family and friends, and even just random people. But we've also had a lot of people say, like, let's go out, let's do something, let's get you out of the house. And as much as people are trying to understand what we must be going through, unless you have, you don't. You really don't. You can try to understand and you can try to imagine what it feels like, but you really don't. And I'm not trying to be mean about that or anything, but like even to my own parents, I can't sit there right now and talk about what I'm feeling because I don't even know what I'm feeling right now. And I think the only person to me right now that understands is my husband. Which is another thing that's really hard today because he had to go back to work. So it's hard on him because he had to leave this morning, but he's busy at work. So he can try and keep his mind off of things and try to keep busy, but I'm stuck at home and really I have nothing to do. So, anyway, I keep saying I want to finish this video and I keep blabbing on, but I apologize again for it being such a long video, and I hope that you guys will support us in trying again and going through all of this. I would love, love, love for anybody that's going through this or is going through this to send me a message or leave a comment or send me an email, anything. Right now, the support of people that kind of understand what we're going through just means a lot, because the way those people write things, you just know that they understand your pain. And knowing that other people had a miscarriage and maybe now have healthy babies is just the only little hope that I have right now and that I need to be able to move on. I just need some happy stories and some happy outcomes, because right now we just feel like we're stuck. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Obviously all the way to the end too, so thank you. And I'll see you guys next week sometime to let you know what my actual doctor said and what we're planning to do. If anything should happen before then regarding the actual miscarriage, I can let you guys know if you want. I don't know if that's something that you want to know, but I might want to document that too, of how I'm feeling. Especially because I've heard a lot of people say that do not, whatever you do, do not look in your liner or the toilet, because you're going to start trying to see things, and sooner or later you're going to see something that you don't want to see because it'll never come out of your head. So, yeah. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you for watching. Bye.